guys, this is the top 6 picks of 2016, where we're going to pick 6 games, we give it a review, and we say our description for it.
So we've got 6 different games on different platforms, so everyone's happy. We've got scores, individual scores out of 10 for each game, for plot, graphics, characters, replayability, multiplayer, and the single player aspects. And we also have included a price, so that is also a factor in obviously some people's budgets.
The price is based on the store sales for that console, so if it was Xbox, it's going to be $20 for that. That's what we wrote down for the price. Number 1 on my top 6 picks, Forza Horizon 3. Forza Horizon 3 is the third installment of the Forza Horizon series, which was released on the 27th of September 2016. Forza Horizon 3 is an open world racing game which is based in Australia. Now here's my score. For plot, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because of the campaign is real good. It takes you to different places in Australia and it's just amazing. The graphics, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I know that's a bit much, but once you play the game you will see for yourself. The graphics, the detail, is just amazing. For the characters, there's not many characters in the storyline apart from yourself, so I gave it a 2. For replayability, that just means how much you want to play it over and over again. Replayability, I gave it a 7. Because after you finish all the races, it will go down a bit more because it's not as much for you to do. But the campaign is long enough that you'll be able to play it for ages. The multiplayer is an 8 because you can play online with so many people, do so many races and activities. The single player is also an 8 because you can have so much fun just by yourself in the campaign.
So, for the first game that I've decided to review, Pokemon Go, which was released on July the 6th, 2016. Travel between the real world and the virtual world of Pokemon with Pokemon Go for iPhone and Android devices. You will discover Pokemon in a whole new world, your own. Pokemon Go uses real locations to encourage players to search far and wide in the real world to discover Pokemon. So, there's been a lot of controversy around this game. I decided to include it just because it's really good to, get back to the community. Niantic has been neglecting the community and hasn't been doing what we've asked, so I decided to do a review on it. So, for plot in Pokemon Go, there is no real plot, so I gave it a 1 out of 10, just because obviously there's some starting characters, but that's it. Graphics, I gave it a 5 because they're okay, they're nothing to write home about, but they're not good either. Characters, I gave it a 1 because, there's no characters. Replayability, I gave it a 7. This is probably its strongest aspect because they're always they're sometimes adding new Pokemon and there's always new Pokemon to catch and all that. Multiplayer, I gave it a 3 because you can obviously battle in gyms and do stuff with your friends, like put lures down and stuff. But that's also going to be probably updated in the future to include battling and trading with your friends. So that's probably up for discussion. Single player, I gave it a 6 out of 10 because most of your time is going to be on your own catching Pokemon. And that gives it a total of 23 out of 60. So really, it's not a very good game, but it is free, so you don't have to pay anything for it. There's obviously premium.
So, number 3 on the list, Rocket League is soccer and driving combined. For those who enjoy high-octane, reckless driving in the world's most popular sport, Rocket League is for you. This cross-genre arena battler is the latest craze of all available platforms. Fun for all players, and the game offers both competitive and casual atmosphere, as well as tons of laughs. So, my score for Rocket League. Plot is 0 because there is no plot whatsoever. It's a racing game. Graphics, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's got good graphics, decent arenas, and they put a lot of detail into the cars and the arenas. Characters, there's no characters whatsoever, so that's a 0 from me. Replayability, 8. I give it an 8 because you can go on whenever you want. You can always unlock new vehicles, new cars, like attachments for anything, so it's kind of good for your replayability. The multiplayer is also an 8 because you can just go on and play with your friends. There's new game modes now where you get these skins so you can shoot stuff further, you can jump higher and stuff like that. And the single player, I give it a 2 because it's not very good. All you can do is like offline, they call it a tournament. So you can just do a couple of races and, you know, knock the ball into the goals, you know. It's not fun without friends. And yeah, so out all up, it's a 25.
So guys, the second game that I'll be reviewing is Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now I've been a long time Pokemon fan. I started on Diamond way back. So yeah, this is coming from a long time fan, but I'm not going to be biased. So it was released on, Pokemon Sun and Moon were released in Australia on November 18th, 2016. So, Pokemon Sun and Moon is the 7th generation Pokemon games that are based on the fictional Alola region, presented in a third-person overhead perspective. The player controls a young trainer who goes on a quest to catch and train creatures known as Pokemon and win battles against other trainers and become the champion. So for this game, I gave it for plot an 8 out of 10 because it's just a really, really solid plot. And it's 30 hours long, easy, so it's really long. Graphics, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's the first main series Pokemon game to be truly 3D, in that you can control the camera on your own all the time. For characters, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave this because the character development in this is especially good. It's always been good in the Pokemon games, but this generation it's even better. They're well developed, they all progress through different stages of their journey, and you see them change all throughout. For replayability, I gave it a 5. Pokemon games aren't really the most long-term games, because you've finished a game and then you can decide to put it away, which is what most people do, or you can decide to make a team, go into competitive battling. But if you want to, you can also redo the story 3 different times with the 3 different starters if you wish. But yeah, it's not the best for replayability, so I gave it a 5. Multiplayer, I gave it a 2. It's not a multiplayer game, it's a single player game. But the 2 points come from the 2 features of multiplayer, which is battling and trading with your friends, which is always fun, so I gave that a 2. And now single player, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because this is the bulk of what you're going to be doing in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. So in total, I gave it 37 out of 60. And it's worth mentioning that it's only available on the 3DS consoles, and it is $50 based in Australia.
Hey guys, my third review is Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is an RPG game set in the world, would you believe it, Stardew Valley. You inherit your grandmother's plot of land in the valley, and with hand-me-down tools and a bit of gold, you set out in your adventure to help rebuild the town. And yeah, it's a really nice game. It's got a decent story to it. You can get a wife, you can have children, you can make any kind of crops in the season. Some crops won't grow in seasons, as everyone would know, so it works like that. If you were to grow tomatoes in the off season, it won't let you do it, it'll die straight away. Things wear out as well, so if you build a wooden fence, it's going to wear out quicker than a metal fence. So the game has a really good story mode, and I like it a lot. So, these are the scores. For the plot, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because there's so much you can do in the story mode, and it's really fun. Like, you won't get bored with it pretty quick. Graphics, it's an RPG game, so it's not going to be the best. I gave it a 3 out of 10 But for an RPG game, I really do think the graphics are really nice. For characters, I give it a 7 out of 10. And the characters are really good because you can interact with every single one and become friends with them, and you can make him your wife, you can have children with them, so you can interact with every character. That's why I gave it a 7 out of 10. Replayability, I give it a 5. I know that is a bit low, but once you've played it for a bit, it kind of loses the fun. Like if you're playing it so much, like I was, you'll play it for like 4 hours a day for like a month, and then after that it's kind of like, oh, you know, it kind of loses its touch. So I gave it a 5, but it is a really good game to play. Multiplayer, they have not released the multiplayer yet, but they, Concerned Ape, they are like in development for the multiplayer, where you can be able to go visit your friends' farms, you can help out on the property, you can buy them seeds and crops. So it's a 0 for now. That would be higher, but I can't do it now because it's not out yet. The single player, I give it out a 9 out of 10 because the single player is the main feature of the game, just like in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So yeah, that was my score. All up, it's 31 out of 60, and you can get it for...
So guys, for my third and final review, I'm going to be reviewing my favourite game of all time, unbiased though, Ark Survival Evolved. So it's out for 3 platforms. It was originally released on the PC, and then it came to Xbox One, and now it's on PS4. The PS4 release date is 6th of December. So, in Ark, you can hunt, harvest resources, craft items, grow crops, research technologies, and build shelters to withstand the elements and store valuables, all while killing and taming the plethora of Leviathan dinosaurs and creatures roaming the land. So this game is amazing, in my opinion. It is just, there's so much content. You could play it for days on end and you never ever get bored. There's so many new creatures all the time. Studio Wildcard is the best developers. They always release new stuff, so there's always stuff to do. But here's my review. So for plot, there is no characters whatsoever in Ark Survival Evolved. So I gave the plot a 1 out of 10. For graphics, it's not the prettiest game, but they're always bringing out hot fixes and all that to fix all the graphics up, and the developers are just great on that. So they're always optimizing the game, making it look great. So I gave that a 5 out of 10. Characters, I gave it a 1 out of 10. Replayability, 10 out of 10. It's just the best for long term. You always can do stuff. There's always stuff to do. Multiplayer, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because you can do it at a server with 100 people, and there's always going to be, you could either, you know, befriend them, work with them, or you could betray them and hunt them. So I gave that a 9 out of 10. Single player, the single player on your own in the server is actually more fun than you would think. Because you can always just build a base that isn't defended, so you can have a completely different designs to one that you would when you're playing with other people. So total score was 34 out of 60. It really is just lacking a bit of plot, a bit of character work, and it would just be amazing, but that's not really the game it is. It's an open world survival game. Minecraft is really the poor man's Ark, if you think about it. But as I said, it is just amazing. The developers always adding new stuff, and it's worth mentioning that it's only 30 Australian dollars to buy for hours and hours, days and days of fun. And then they also have added, still in the pre-release stage, a DLC for 20 Australian dollars. And this DLC it was taken by the community fairly poorly, because they thought that still in early release they should be focusing on the main game, but it just adds just as many hours to a completely new map, new dinosaurs, desert map, survival. It's just so much fun. But yeah, that's my review of Ark Survival Evolved.
Thank you so much for watching our top 6 picks for 2016, guys. It means so much that you take your time out of your day to watch our videos.
This has been a pleasure making. We loved putting together